ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मायं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुन् श्रीयुतापतकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं साद्वैतं स्वावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितस्य हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
तरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभये
भयेव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Ashwin, for reciting the wonderful Mangalacharan. So we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 1, Chapter 17, and the text for today is text 41 and 42. So, Shashwin, can I request you to read the Sanskrit? And then somebody can help us with reading the text and the purport. Any volunteers so that we go in a sequence? Any volunteers?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
I
Krishna.
can read translation.
And purport.
One.
Okay, so if you can read the translation and purport of text 41.
Okay.
And any volunteers for 42? Or I can read 42.
I can read it, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the volunteering. Okay, so Shashwin, you will read the Sanskrit and then other devotees will read the translation and shloka, translation and purport. And then again you read text 42 and then translation and purport.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
अतैतानेन
Let's
सेवे
start. No. Let's start with
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
Devi.
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्ण। अतैतानेन सेवेत बुभुषु पुरुषः क्वचित्
Writes verses or notes on it.
धर्मशीलो राजलोकपतिर्गुरु।
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees. Translation and purport by His Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, whoever desires progressive well-being, especially kings, religionists, public leaders, brahmanas, and sannyasis, should never come in contact with the four above-mentioned irreligious principles. The brahmanas are the religious preceptors for all other castes, and the sannyasis are the spiritual masters for all the castes and orders of society. So also are the king and the public leaders who are responsible for the material welfare of all people. The progressive religionists and those who are responsible human beings, or those who do not want to spoil their valuable human life, should refrain from all the principles of irreligiosity, especially illicit connection with women. If a Brahmana is not truthful, all his claims as a Brahmana at once become null and void. If a sannyasi is illicitly connected with women, all his claims as a sannyasi at once become false. Similarly, if the king and the public leader are unnecessarily proud or habituated to drinking and smoking, certainly they become disqualified to discharge public welfare activities. Truthfulness is the basic principle for all religions. The four leaders of the human society, namely the sannyasis, the brahmanas, the king, and the public leader, must be tested crucially by their character and qualification. Before one can be accepted as a spiritual or material master of society, he must be tested by the above-mentioned criteria of character. Such public leaders may be less qualified in academic qualifications, but it is necessary primarily that they be free from the contamination of the four disqualifications, namely gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Shashwin, let's read text 42.
Hare Krishna. Vrissasya nastam vrissasya nastam strin padan tapah saucham dayamiti pratisandadasvasya mahim cha samavardyat dayat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, the king re-established the lost legs of the personality of religion, the bull, and by encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. Purport. By designating particular places for the personality of Kali, Maharaja Parikshit practically cheated Kali. In the presence of Kali, Dharma, in the shape of a bull, and the earth in the shape of a cow, he could actually estimate the general condition of his kingdom. And therefore, he at once took proper steps to re-establish the legs of the bull, namely austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. And for the general benefit of the people of the world, he saw that the gold stock might be employed for stabilization. Gold is certainly a generator of falsity, intoxication, prostitution, enmity, and violence. But under the guidance of a proper king or public leader or a brahmana or sannyasi, the same gold can be properly utilized to re-establish the lost legs of the bull, the personality of religion. Maharaja Parikshit, therefore, like his grandfather Arjuna, collected all illicit gold kept for the propensities of Kali and employed in the Sankirtan Yagna as per instruction of the Srimad Bhagavatam. As we have suggested before, one's accumulated wealth may be divided into three parts for distribution, namely 50% for the service of the Lord, 25% for the family members, and 25% for personal necessities. Spending 50% of this for the service of the Lord or for the propagation of the spiritual knowledge in society by way of Sankirtan Yagna is the maximum display of human mercy. People of the world are generally in darkness regarding spiritual knowledge, especially in regard to the devotional service of the Lord. And therefore, to propagate the systematic transcendental knowledge of the devotional service is the greatest mercy that one can show in this world. When everyone is taught to sacrifice 50% of his accumulated gold for the Lord's service, certainly austerity, cleanliness, and mercy automatically ensue. And thus, the lost three legs of the personality of religion are automatically established. When there is sufficient austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, naturally Mother Earth is completely satisfied, and there is very little chance for Kali to infiltrate the structure of the human society. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. And thank you very much, Shobha Mataji. And thank you very much, Shashwin, for reading the text purport and doing the Manglacharan so well. I am seeing that Prabhuji has not joined us. He was not feeling well in the morning when he contacted me. He said I might join in. So I guess he has not joined in. So we can deliberate on this text. Maybe he might join in a little later. That's what he said. So we can have a small discussion among ourselves regarding the two texts, and I can start the ball rolling. Especially this has come to me at the right time regarding this gold and donating 50% in the service of the Lord and 25% to the family members and 25% for personal necessities. My mother-in-law has just distributed whatever little she has among us to my sister-in-law and myself. So I now know, I said, what will I do with all this? So at least Krishna has shown me the path of what to do with it. So for me, this has come, a timely message has come. They say when you pray for guidance, things will become clearer. Any other reflection or thoughts? Anybody would like to discuss? And I really like the way it has been put that even with the one leg of Kali remaining, we can establish the other three if we work on the principles that have been stated in this purport. Because I always wondered that if there is just one leg remaining, what is going to happen? But even with this one leg, if our religious leaders or the head of the family or the head of the community or the head of the nation or the head of any organization, if they do their work according to the Shastras, I think the other three legs of the Dharma would follow. Any other reflections or questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually, I've missed a lot of pieces, but from whatever I understand from this purport is some, like initially I used to feel that the Kali Yuga has really sort of spread throughout the world, and there is such a small percentage of people who could be like spreading good knowledge to even to this like spirituality into the kings and leaders. And I always felt that was really impossible at this time, but slowly I feel and I'm gaining confidence that one has to continue with Srila Prabhupada's mission and just be positive, and we should all try and continue to spread goodness and spirituality in people, and continue to play our role, and I'm sure it would help the society. So that was the comment I wanted to make. That's how I feel now. I feel more confident that we should be positive and continue with the mission.
Thank you very much for that, those thoughts, Mataji, and it helps us when we are guided that way. But look at Maya playing on my mind. Just when I said, okay, so this is the way to do it, I just had this thought, and it says, but just one person, if that one person does that sacrifice of giving 50% of our gold to the mission, would it make a difference?
Yes, that's how I always felt. But like we always say that we can light a lot of candles with one candle. So in the same way, if one person does positive things, it can be spread, and I'm sure that would help the society.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I think one person can make a difference, and like they say, with a drop, the ocean is filled. So this is a literal translation from a Gujarati saying. I guess we all have to make our little small drops, and I think the rest we can just leave it to Krishna. For me, I think we are not here to see the fruits of our actions. We are here just to do our actions and then just leave for Krishna to do the judgment. Any other thoughts or any other contribution? Arya Govind Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, seeing especially the first verse and the purport, translation, Prabhupada has stressed, the leaders, especially the Brahmanas, sannyasis, the leaders have to follow these religious principles, the four main don'ts. So that looks like an uphill task as at the moment, because most of the leaders, and then the so-called Brahmanas also not following these principles, because that's why I think Prabhupada stress so much on creation of true Brahmanas, the head of the society. Like Prabhupada has mentioned that, like in the body, head is the most important, and head represents the Brahmana, the hands represent the Kshatriya, the belly represents the Vaishyas, and the legs represent the Shudras. So if the head itself is not there, the body has no value. So similarly, that's what Prabhupada made sure that the Brahmanas are created, true Brahmanas are created, and then encouraged to become more pure and pure. So if that one class develops, and then they subsequently can develop the other classes. I think, we are seeing some religious people who are truly religious, and then who are truly wanting to serve people and God, are coming to power in some parts of the world, and then they're taking up as a service to humankind and service to mankind. But that, although not at a Krishna conscious level, but still at a religious level. And then I think if they're able to control these four defects, so some kind of purity and then cleanliness will arise in the mass of people. And then of course by the advent of this Krishna conscious movement, and then more and more people can become more purer and purer, so at least to support these religious leaders. So yeah, we have to continue to do whatever little bit, as you were saying, rightly saying, to do our part in establishing this movement in different towns and villages of the world. So gradually, I think by the mercy of Gauranga, things will change. And we hopefully have. I think some devotee, I think some years back, he was saying the best would be for a devotee to become a political leader. What if a true devotee of the Lord will become a political leader of any particular area? So naturally, he'll dictate. He'll administer on the basis of Krishna conscious principles. So, but it's not easy. But it's a step. I think that's what I think the first purport Prabhupada has meant, that the leaders have to be, at least leaders have to have this in austerity, that they should not indulge in these four illicit activities, which are the root cause of all problems. That's what I think about the first translation and purport, Pantaji.
Yes, Roji, thank you very much for that addition. But we are seeing that some country in the world has a leader who is sticking to these principles. He's not gambling, he's not drinking, he's not going to prostitutes, and he doesn't eat meat. So the people don't like such leaders. Has Kali Yuga gone so far that even the good are not able to establish dharma? Even the good people are not able to establish dharma. I mean, he's making a lot of reforms and a lot of changes, but will all his efforts be washed away after him?
Yeah, I mean, that needs to be waited and watched, Mataji. At least the effort should be there. Rest, I think, like Krishna did it in Mahabharata. So everything was opposite, and then the adharma was winning over the dharma, and then just because Krishna was present and then personally guided, that the dharma will win over the adharma. So similarly, I think if we stick to the purity in which we administer, and true service of people and service of the God, so then assistance will be given in the right places and the right moment. That's what I think we can hope. And then wherever Krishna consciousness is practiced, even even in the lowest level, so we can expect some kind of hope, Mataji.
Yeah.
Just like the Bhagavad Gita verse that Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara. So their victory is there in where Krishna's names are there, Krishna's pastimes are discussed. And then even if religiosity in the name of the scriptures are upheld by certain leaders, I think that is a step towards God.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you for that. Any other questions, comments, contribution, thoughts? Ananda Vardhana Prabhuji, if you are able to.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I was working, so I've just been listening to Arya Govinda Prabhu, and it's very true that we need the leaders who are actually the ones who are following the regulative principles, actually the four regulative principles. And the dharma is very important. But going according to the comment, if a leader is doing so, but you need the association. We say the association is so important. So if the leader is there and his ministers are all false, then he needs to rectify the ministers as well. So it is a big task for a leader if there is no backing of the ministers. So he needs to educate the ministers first before going to the public. So this is the thing. He needs to, any leader actually, if you have a family, you need to put your family in order first before you go and advise outsiders. So this is what my feedback on this one is, to say, yeah, it can be done, but you need to put everyone in progress first.
Yeah, so like you're saying, like a pyramid. So if the leader, then he infiltrates all this information to people under him, and then they infiltrate the knowledge under them, and then it comes to the base, because the leader cannot come to the base immediately. So it's a stepwise process. And if that is followed, then there'll definitely be a change in society.
That's
Thank
right.
you. Yeah, thank you very much, Ananda Vardhana Prabhuji. Any other contribution, Hitesh Prabhu? Maybe his network is not allowing her. He's joining us from Seychelles or a beautiful island somewhere. What about Madrupa Mataji? Any questions, contributions, comments?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam to everyone. Like let me tell you the truth that I was not concentrating very much on the text and everything. I was a little bit busy with some other things, part and all that. So especially pertaining to that gold thing, gold is such a sensitive topic for all Indian people and Indian ladies especially. Yeah. So however you know and read, and that gold is not in Kali Yuga and all that. Still we invest in gold and gift gold and get the gift of gold. Reading and listening to all these, that's what I think. And that for that you really need your strong devotion, strong sadhana. I know it's very difficult to reach to that stage that we can really implement all these things. That's what I think.
I was vouching for 10%, but hearing 50%, I can understand what you are saying, because I'm an Indian woman as well. So yeah. I don't know where this 10% came in my head. Since a young time, I thought it was 10%.
I think in Christianity it is 10%. That's what I know.
Oh,
That
yeah.
because one of my colleague, when I was working in India, she was a Christian and she used to contribute 10% of her salary every month, and she used to tell that we are told to give 10%. So that's what I know, but our scripture says 50%. Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments? Hare Krishna, thank you very much. It's a very sensitive topic, and it's good that you have planted the seed in our mind so that we can all do manan over it and try to give up, because at the end of the day, it is not ours. I mean, it is Krishna's, but us Indian women think it is ours, and it's my mother who has given me, and it's mine, and we have all those complexities.
I think I heard some devotees saying, Mataji, if you are a grihastha and then if you are able to donate 50% to Krishna conscious activities, then you are on the level of the pujari who is doing the deity worship.
Wow.
So I mean that's a difficult position for all grihasthas to go to that level, but still we can start from anywhere where we can stretch, and then we can commit a standard amount so that we can give that on a regular basis, not going down and up. I mean regularly, so at least consistently, like we do the chanting. When we start chanting, we start with 2 rounds, and then we don't go down from 2 rounds to 1 round. When we go to 6 rounds, we don't go down to 4 rounds or something like. So it's a commitment, and it's a discipline that we have to commit ourselves, and then go step by step. Like we are all family people, and then maybe some of the members of our family are not fully Krishna conscious, and then not cannot take that kind of a commitment from other family members. So it is a step-by-step approach. I think it's not a thing to be jumped on, and then we as a family should not break. And then family also is important while practicing Krishna consciousness, and then making a balance is also important.
Yeah, and I guess we had a discussion over the same in another class, that it is so whatever wealth you have, you spend on your day-to-day necessities, and whatever is left out of that, you give 50%, I guess. So it is not your salary that 50% goes in Krishna consciousness, and then you remain with the 50. So after using it for your mortgage and paying your bills and everything, whatever remains, instead of accumulating, give 50% of that to Krishna consciousness.
True, Mataji. And if you are able to control on the whatever sense gratificatory activities you have, and then if you are spending on that, and then let's say if you're going for a movie and then you have to spend for that, so instead of doing that, you can reserve that and then divert that. That itself is a commitment. Like Bhajagovindam Prabhu was saying, you take this moment to moment, live Krishna consciousness moment to moment. So and that's a nice thing to follow, I think.
I think so too, because even our state changes. Like in our prime days, we might be able to donate more. And then as we retire, we don't have a job and we are just living on our savings. So at that time, probably it will diminish. So probably, as you said, that keep it up, but let us assess the situation moment by moment. But at least if we get into a habit of just giving a little bit every month or every week or however your domestics are.
Like one devotee, I think Amirendra Prabhu was saying, Krishna doesn't see what you give, Krishna sees what you hide.
Oh dear. That's true. That's true. So it's an eye-opening. This is quite a powerful text, actually, now that we are deliberating on it. Prashanatma Prabhu, do you have anything to contribute?
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. It's quite a topic, but I'm one of the young ones in the group. I can't speak much, but I think we can all try. It's not a law that, at least I don't think Prabhupada will make it a law that everyone should give 50% of their wealth. But at the same time, I think our devotion really counts towards it. Yeah, for maybe the devotees can give, they can give as much as possible. And because sometimes we have families and the economy is not also really good. Everywhere in the world, it's not a really good situation. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like, I think I heard it once being mentioned. I can't remember who was saying it, but because okay, maybe because I listen to a lot of different classes, different speakers, but I think it just finally just falls down to us within personally what you can do, how much, even if it's 10%, if you're giving it with love and devotion, that's, I may be hiding a lot, but yeah, Krishna, this is what I can do for now. I think with time it develops. Yeah. Also, on the earlier point that leaders should also, rather, leaders should, if leaders were Krishna conscious, then surely will be a better situation wherever a leader is Krishna conscious. So yeah, it is a good thing. I think the ball has just been set rolling by our king, our Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. So I think from there, it's just begun. There's a golden age coming, and I think things will be much better. I just feel like we really need to take advantage, at least for our time. If it's not possible, maybe to come with future generations, or even with us also. But maybe I will say yes, we can be hopeful, and the best way we can do this is to try and spread our message as far as possible to every next soul that is with us. So, yeah, I think that's the best we can do, at least to make Srila Prabhupada happy. But yeah, it's bound to happen. The other day also it was Arya Govind mentioned that Srila Prabhupada had predicted about the petrol and oil coming to an end very soon. I think it's a few years now left, maybe. So yeah, yesterday is when I really analyzed and I thought, yeah, because Srila Prabhupada is Mahatma, he knows. So I am also now. I really thought about, that's his words are really serious. So we can best be sure to expect these things to happen. If he says his books will be law books for the next 10,000 years, there will be law books. Yeah. So I think it's bound to happen. It will come. You can't avoid it. Yeah, and it's good. Yeah, we can try. We can only try our best and do our part, however small or big. As much as Krishna sees what we hide, but also I think he really values what we try and do, however small or big it is. I asked, of which maybe I can mention something I also heard from Amarendra Prabhu, that the reason why Lord Jagannath has big eyes, and there is another deity, I can't remember the name in India, has very small eyes. I don't know if you've mentioned it in the class. So that because Lord Jagannath doesn't see the fault in devotee, he has those big eyes so that he can see even the smallest thing. Even if a devotee comes, like I had Indian ladies, when they come to the temple, they come even with coins. Every time, at least every time I come to the temple, I come with a coin, just drop it in the coin box. So like this, it's a habit, and it keeps the ball rolling and everything going. So yeah, Lord Jagannath sees, he doesn't see fault in devotees. And I heard there's another deity who has his eyes closed. When he's told now that's Krishna, when he's told that your devotee has this and this fault, he doesn't want to see it at all. So yeah, I think that's my point, at least for now. So, thank you. Very good.
Thank you very much, Prashanatma Prabhu, and yes, glories of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. He could, as you said, he could foresee so much in the future, and he had written all this some 50 years ago or 40 years ago, and it is all coming to true. And yet it has not ended. Kali has just begun. So we have a lot more to experience, and at least he has told us, so we can make changes in our lifestyle. Thank you very much for those reflections.
At least just one more thing, Mataji. Sorry. At least we're starting to see, even at the temple in Nairobi, you can see even some of the students, you're seeing some of them getting into law. You're seeing doctors, in the university now. The young generation who are getting to be Krishna conscious, more and more people. So I guess it's something that's spreading like wildfire. And can be really hopeful as much as possible. You can't avoid it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm currently in England, and in London too. I attended a retreat over the weekend, and 80% of the people in that retreat were young people. So I was the oldest over there, probably. So these young people will take it further, and the way Srila Prabhupada has organized it, it will, as you said, will catch fire very fast, because he has seen the raw wood, the dry wood as you said, catches fire very fast. So he's prepared the ground in such a way that now it will prolifically spread. And it's not just in Kenya or Uganda or Tanzania, it's all over the world. We just had in Eldoret Mahaprasad Prabhu from Ethiopia, and Ethiopia is also going ahead. So it's spreading. And I think in Africa, Krishna consciousness will take a faster route now because of various devotees coming to the dark continent. And also I found when I came from England to Kenya, I found that Kenyans are more giving. I mean, they are more giving than us Indians, at least our generation of Indians. I saw each and every colleague of mine, they were educating somebody else, their cousin's child, or they would even, when somebody passes on, they would contribute towards that. And a lot of emphasis is done to give others. So in Africa, that is already there. The giving culture is already there. While our generation, it was always take, accumulate, mine, philosophy. And also in the African culture, I saw that before any meals, before any partaking anything, they always remembered the Lord like we do as devotees. But it is not an automatic process being an Indian that we do such things. So I think Krishna consciousness will really, it's really going to awaken a lot. And then in our continent, we love to dance. So that will fall in Harinam Kirtan. You can see how the Kirtans are.
Yeah.
So Arya Govind Prabhu, kindly take over. There is no one in the house and the carer has come for my mother-in-law. So I have to go for just 3-4 minutes. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mata. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prasanatma Prabhu, and thank you, Mataji, for giving your thoughts on this two important verses and how these 4 defects of Kali Yuga, how if leaders can avoid these, and then if it can be really practiced that to avoid these 4 things, then really good things can happen. But we can only hope and pray, and that the future generations will take up this, and then we can have the leadership as per what is taught in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And like in the verse, I was thinking the next verse, the 42nd verse, where it is mentioned that thereafter the king re-established the lost legs of the personality of religion, and by encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. So this means that King Parikshit, who had the Kali personified in front of him, he could counteract Kali, and then by as Prabhupada said, Maharaj Parikshit practically cheated Kali by giving particular places. So Parikshit knew very well that these particular places are not existing in his kingdom, and then he very carefully gave those places so that his kingdom can be he can fulfill both the things, that to give protection to Kali, whom Kali had surrendered to him, and also protect his own people by giving such places, so that his people are not affected by the effect of Kali and influence of Kali. So this is a very nice point, that a leader has to be very intelligent, and then he has to take his subjects in such a way that his subjects are not falling into these traps of 4 defects. Yeah, we can only hope that this can be a future progress. So Prabhupada has stressed so much on this Brahminical culture, and then gold to be used in in the right way. Otherwise, gold can be a hindrance, and then a hindrance especially for spiritual development. Any other thoughts, Prabhujis and Matajis? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, just a thought again. Quite a lot of people can't afford to give 50%. And one of the things people can do is give their time and the service for Krishna conscious, to serve the devotees, to serve the Vaishnavas, and so on. So that is one of the important things, because to develop Krishna consciousness, the service is important, and the time you give is important, because the time is money as well. So that is something to bear in mind as well. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you for bringing that point. You can actually, Atul Krishna Prabhu was there in Nakuru for last weekend, and he was saying, you can give your talent to Krishna, you can give your intelligence to Krishna, you can engage in Krishna conscious activities in various ways, in different aspects. If you're a good singer, you can sing for Krishna. If you're a good preacher, you can preach for Krishna. If you're a good book distributor, you can distribute books for Krishna and collect Lakshmi for Krishna. And in various ways, in the temple and in the centers, you can engage in a lot of services, as you rightly said. Of course, Prabhupada had mentioned the contribution percentage. As you said, it's a difficult proposition to commit that big quantity, being grihasthas. But somewhere we can all start by giving various types of service to Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any other thoughts, comments before we close this session?
Hare Krishna, Arya Govinda Prabhu. One point also I have realized is, like Srila Prabhupada always says that, we are always hankering for more and more. So even people like who are earning good salaries, naturally they'll buy more expensive house and they'll buy more expensive cars. And so one thing I've realized as well is that it's important to simplify our life as well. And that can help us to contribute towards Krishna consciousness. So simplifying life helps. So, and it's, I think the more you hanker for more Lakshmi, then the more you get trapped into Maya. So it's best to step back and live a simple life, and that would help.
True, Mataji. Yes, as you said, how to use Lakshmi, and then how it's basically what you're saying is simple living and high thinking. What Prabhupada always promoted, that you keep your basics as simple as possible, basic needs, whatever you are supposed to get to yourself and your family, but high thinking, thinking Krishna conscious philosophy, and then serving Krishna and devotees.
Yes.
That's a good point, Mataji. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other points that before we close down today's session, we want to discuss or want to comment?
Just thinking on the simple living, high thinking that Mataji has just mentioned, and listening to the Maharaj last week, I forgot the name of Maharaj actually, but he encourages us to grow our own vegetables and grow our own things in the backyard if we can do that. And doing that, you have your own vegetables, and then saving money, you can give that money in service of Krishna. And so we buy from the market. Instead of buying from the market, you grow on your own vegetables at home. And it's quite a nice philosophy. And if everyone does that, first of all, you get something organic from your home, and you don't buy any rubbish from outside. and secondly, you contribute. So that is something, I just thought of when Mataji mentioned about simple living.
True. I have seen in this regard some people in India actually, these cooking oils. Many people are moving away from this refined oils and then going to naturally processed cold pressed oils. And then, of course, these cold pressed oils are very, very expensive in the market. So some devotees have seen they buy this just grinding machine to extract oil, and then they grind it, and then of course there is a wastage which you can be given to the cows, and the oil is pure, and then it is a cold pressed oil. You can even with a minimal investment you can even have it at home. I think that's what I have seen in one or two places in Bangalore, back in Bangalore. So that oil is very, very nice, and then it is full of nutrients, and then also it is cheaper to produce at your own home. And like what you said for vegetables, similarly, these simple things, instead of buying processed foods, instead of buying expensive ready to eat foods, we can all shift to naturally grown and naturally processed foods, and then it can also benefit the health, offer the best to the Lord, and then also save some Lakshmi for the service of Krishna. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Maharaj's name was Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj. Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much for those contributions about growing the food at home. I think in Kenya it might be even simpler than in England. So that's a fantastic point, Anandavardhana Prabhu, because we have so much land all over our compound and our houses and and the place where we stay. And especially in Eldoret, it is very green. And if we can grow our own vegetables, that would be the best thing. So thank you.
I see in ISKCON Nakuru Center, I see some devotees have started planting some seeds at the corner.
That's great. That's great. Even in Eldoret at the temple, we have started doing that. So we have these bags that is filled with compost, and we make holes in those bags and then plant cabbages and things. So one bag will make a lot of things, but then every house, I'm not doing it. So I should be doing it. So now that Anandavardhana Prabhu said, some things that are so simple and so obvious is not obvious. Thank you for bringing that point out. We can see, but sometimes it's cheaper to buy things than to grow things. So I tried a few with tomatoes and things like that, but it was cheaper for me to buy that are already there from greenhouses than what I make. But I guess the nutritive value would be more, and the way we cultivate our plants would be more in the Krishna conscious state, and that would be more beneficial to us because we are what we eat. So I can understand what Prabhu is saying.
As well, Kenya, probably you have ahimsa milk, but here ahimsa milk is very rare, and industry, the cow industry, the cows are being tortured before the milk is distributed to the supermarket, and so that's the other thing. And at the moment we get ahimsa milk, and this is very expensive milk, ahimsa from Leicester, and yeah, that's another. If everyone does this, then eventually it will become cheaper. But at the moment it's very rare, so it's expensive.
That's correct. Yeah, a lot of farmers don't allow their cows to do zero grazing in Kenya. They let them loose, and then whatever milk they get, they are happy with it. They don't feed extra like they do in England. So at least Kenya, we are a little ahead. Also, we have banned plastic in the country in Kenya. So if you come to visit us, please don't bring any plastic for your shoes or anything, because you'll be, those items are not legal in Kenya. So environmentally also, we are a little ahead than the Western world. Any other contributions? Pramila Mataji, we haven't heard anything from you today.
Hare Krishna Mataji. It's so interesting listening to others and their views. But just on the point of charity, I mean, Krishna stresses quite a lot in so many of the chapters about giving charity. So whatever little we can give, I think in whatever way we can, I think it's very, very helpful. I missed the very beginning of the discourse, so I couldn't follow very much. So, but that's it on the charity point. I think if we all try hard, it all helps. It all helps. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for making that point. Renuka Mataji, would you like to say something? Hare Krishna. Ritu Mataji. Maybe they are, it's cooking time, so maybe they are a little bit engaged.
Also, Mataji, can I add? Krishna says he is the enjoyer of sacrifices. So when we, give charity or do something as a sacrifice, he really enjoys that. So that is such a nice point to know, that he actually enjoys, for example, our little fasting on Ekadasi and other occasions, whatever sacrifices we make. He stresses he's the enjoyer of sacrifices.
Yeah. Krishna is as human as we can see. Even when our parents make sacrifices for us, or when we make sacrifices for our children enjoy and we enjoy. I mean, we don't enjoy, but we can see how great our parents are when they made their sacrifices for us. So definitely we can sell ourselves to Krishna by just performing austerities and sacrificing whatever time, talent, any material wealth. I mean, he has it all. He doesn't need it, but it's just that this person is doing this for me, and he just looks at us favorably when we do that. So thank you so much for making that point, Mataji. I think we have almost exhausted our time, and I apologize on behalf of Prabhuji. He has a daughter who is probably now 7 weeks old. So all the late nights and waking up at nights and the weather not being very good has pulled him down a little bit today. So he has not been able to join, and I apologize for that. But tomorrow definitely we'll have a mentor. So let us close this session and chant the Mahamantra once in glorification for everybody. This was a class for everybody. So let us unmute and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki
Srimad Bhagavatam Maharaj ki jai.
Sarva Vaishnava ki jai.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.